everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chick Chat Presents the Funeral of Queen Elizabeth II and also talking about her life. We are excited to be here. I hope everybody else is too. We have lots to say and lots.
So at the moment, they're just moving the Queen's body from Westminster Hall to Westminster Abbey, which is actually only across the street, but I think they're going like around the block to get there. And, I don't know, has anyone else been to London?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
I've always wanted to go, but I've never been.
Yeah, all these like Westminster Abbey, the Buckingham Palace, Westminster Hall, they're so close together, and Parliament. They're like, you can walk it in like a couple of minutes. Okay, so yeah, it's remarkable. I thought they'd be like across town from each other or something, but no, it's like walk across the street and you're at Buckingham Palace. Okay, it's like you can see the Big Ben in the background there behind the church. Do I need to make it bigger? Yeah.
Look at what they've prepared. Look at all of that. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Hello, chat, by the way. We forgot to say hi to you.
Hi, chat.
Hi, Ishkade. Michael Malloy Show.
It's hard trying to find the balance between how much do we talk, but how much do we remain respectful. Again.
Yeah, because I was going to say I saw an article of where David Beckham actually waited 13 hours in line to see the Queen's coffin, and apparently, I think someone had said, "Oh, you can skip the line, we'll just push you to the front." And he's just like, "No." He goes, "It's like my grandfather wouldn't have done that." He goes, "I'm not going to do that." He goes, "I'm going to wait with everybody else." But imagine waiting 13 hours in line.
And he got there at a good time. Okay, by the time that he was done, the line was up to 24 hours.
Oh my goodness! Imagine waiting in that line.
I wouldn't. Sorry. Because you can't go to the bathroom or anything until you got to the park at the end where they had people moving around, and then they'll give you a number. But before that, you couldn't leave to go to the bathroom or anything.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Yeah.
They have the bells going.
Yeah.
Do you know the series of steps in the funeral procession? Crystal?
Not really.
Melissa?
Okay.
No.
I know that they've got the military from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the UK there. Okay, marching in the procession. Okay. And I know the coffin weighs a lot because it's lined in lead.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Which is probably why they have I'm guessing what are they called? The black puffy hats.
I don't know what they're called. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Let me look it up.
They're probably more like palace footmen or something that are like the pallbearers.
The funeral service of words and music will lead ultimately to the commendation
Oh wow.
of the soul to Almighty God.
I saw an interview with the Queen where she was even talking about how heavy the crown is. If you put your head down while wearing it, you'll break your neck.
Oh.
So you have to bring up the speech.
The Imperial State Crown has Black Princess Ruby, St. Edward Sapphire, Cullinan II diamond cut from the largest diamond in the world.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
With a simple message from the King.
Oh, we want to listen to the King.
At his request from the gardens that the Queen knew at her homes.
So the family there, we've got the siblings, her children, in the front row.
The Abbey where she was crowned.
And then you've got William, Harry, and Peter Phillips. in the second row. They're the oldest
Gentle
three grandchildren, I
Christian
think, other than Zara, the girl. Okay, she's not there. So
It's
all the
done
grandsons except for the youngest are
bestow
there.
and does
The youngest
bear
one's only
British keep
14, so he's a bit young too.
this abbey here in Westminster.
Is that the king? The king's not speaking yet, is he? No,
No,
that's the announcer. He's not going to be speaking right away.
I don't even think he will.
I think they just mentioned
might.
that he will. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at that crown, isn't it?
Hmm.
This is just so surreal, you know. Like it's hard to believe that she's actually passed away.
Like one part of me is
Because,
like, she's 96, but the other part is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, but
no, she's the constant. Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, because it's just like she's the only monarch like we've ever known. So
Yeah.
it just feels
All our
very
parents have known.
weird.
It's
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
even my grandmother, like my mother's mother, would have only known.
neither
this
believe
queen.
in you,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I get what you mean though, Melissa, because it feels like
whosoever
she'd
liveth
be timeless. She'd be here forever or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. It just feels weird. Definitely.
Like it felt weird, like when her husband passed away. It's just like, oh wow, you know, that was such like a weird feeling, you know, like because
Yeah.
he's also like one of the only monarchs like we've ever known.
Yeah.
Oh, so did you see what Ishkade said? Where did I can find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crystal, do you know how to move the avatars around?
So
Just
we
want to
put.
put Ash on. I'm sorry, Ash, but we gotta put you on the bottom of the camera.
No, it's all
There
good.
we go.
Yeah, it's so sad. It really does feel a little bit like she died of a broken heart because a lot of the times if you're really close to, you know, like your significant other, then, you know, you kind of don't, you know, sort of surpass them by very much. Like it's very common for, you know, like the other partner to sort of pass on not too long like
Yes.
after.
Usually like within like 2
And
years.
it's really, really
Everyone,
sad.
yeah, everyone that I
Yeah.
know who have lost one, yeah, whose parents or where one, either the husband or the wife first, it was usually within the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow,
At a
that's
certain
beautiful
age,
crown.
you know.
But then, yeah, it's not like when they're young if one dies, but like if
Yeah.
one of them dies of old age, the other one will likely die of old age. pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
But then
that's why I said it
it's also
depends on the
because they're
age.
probably both old. Okay? They probably have
Yeah.
a similar age and probably had a similar diet, and that probably didn't help. And then once your partner's gone, maybe you're like, you don't want to fight anymore to like get better.
So Monday is the day of the Queen's State funeral. It's also a bank holiday in the UK. The funeral plans. Coffin will be taken in procession from the Palace, Westminster, to Westminster Abbey in the state gun carriage of the Royal Navy. The carriage was last seen in 1979 for the funeral of the Duke of Edinburgh's. Oh, I'm not saying that correctly. How do we say that? Edinburgh?
Mountbatten? Duke of
Edinburgh's?
Edinburgh. Yeah.
Uncle Lord Mountbatten, and it will be drawn by 142 sailors from the Royal Navy.
Oh, wow.
King
So
Charles-
Lord Mountbatten was the one who was blown up by the IRA. Okay, he was on a boat with his entire family, pretty much, and the IRA put a bomb on it, and it went off and killed everyone, I think. But he was like really close to Charles, apparently, when Charles was young.
King Charles III will walk behind, alongside the Princess Royal, the Duke of York, and Earl of Wessex. Behind them will be the Queen's grandsons, the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Sussex, and Peter Phillips. Is that
Yeah,
what
it's
they-
crazy. William actually has 3 titles now. So he's still Duke of Cambridge, and now he's Prince of Wales, and there's another title. I can't remember what it was. But
It
yeah,
would be
so
something
like,
for Scotland. Something in
Yeah.
Scotland. Duke of something in Scotland, yeah.
now I need to Google it.
So now the procession is led by massed pipes and drums of Scottish and Irish regiments. The Brigade of Gurkhas, they're testing my capability for pronunciation here. And the Royal Air Force numbering 200 musicians. 200 musicians.
Hmm. calm. They're, even like the families walking in right now. Like I knew like the people who marched, the men would be, but I didn't realize the kids and like Camilla and that.
So right now we're at the part once she's now arrived, and
Yeah, we're inside the church now.
the state funeral will begin at 11. That's we should be close to that pretty soon.
2 minutes
right?
past. So
Yeah, Duke of Cornwall. So now he's Duke of Cornwall, Duke of Cambridge, and also Prince of Wales.
okay, so he's taken Charles's old titles.
Yeah,
And kept
because
Cambridge
now
as well.
he's heir apparent.
Yeah. Which reminds me.
And I think they were saying that now Harry's children now get title because the next sort of line of succession has like happened. That now I think Harry's children now get prince and princess.
if they want, if
Yeah.
Meghan and Harry want that,
Want it?
because Prince Edward's children, they're entitled to be prince and princess, and they're not.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay. He isn't even a. He's going to become the Duke of Edinburgh soon. Okay. Because he was getting that off his father,
Yeah.
Prince Philip. Okay, but him and his wife decided not to give title. They've still got titles to the kids, but they're not as high. So it's just Lady Louise, and I'm not sure what the boy is, but it's like Baron or something like that. It's not a high title.
So I have a map of where they traveled, but not quite sure how to do a split screen for that because we don't want to miss anything that's
Oh, I
going
can
on.
do. If you send me a link in a private chat, I've actually set it up so I can show the funeral and something else on the side.
Okay, so I'll send you that. And
So the Queen's titles, which
You'll
are
have to
now
scroll
the
down.
King's,
Mhm.
were other than. Okay, so in the UK, it was Elizabeth II, by grace of God, of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and her other realms and territories, Queen, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith, and also Duke of Lancaster, Duke of Normandy, Saner of Swans, Fount of Justice.
oh wow.
Okay, and it's slightly different in Australia, and Canada also has a French version.
I seem to have lost all the links that I put in our private chat the other day, Christine. I
Yeah,
don't know
they've
where they went.
all disappeared. Of course.
It's all right. We're doing it. It's all smooth, right? I'll go find them again.
So what am I showing? The
Just scroll down and you'll see the map of where they've traveled, where they've walked with the coffin.
yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah. So they.
yeah, see
So.
the Westminster Hall, they've gone across the street and kind of around to the
Oh wow.
other side's entrance.
Ah, interesting. It's just saying that Charles is the oldest person to take the crown.
Wouldn't surprise. Wait, what about Queen Victoria's son?
I read that.
Queen
the other
Victoria
day.
was really old when she died, but it wasn't her oldest son. It was like her second oldest son. So her oldest son died. So maybe that made it younger. Is the view okay? Or...
It's great. I think it looks great.
Oh, I actually did start watching The Crown. I got 3 episodes in.
Did you?
The episodes are so long. They're like an hour long, but it was actually
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
I have a friend. She's another Canadian singer, independent artist, and she she's mistaken all the time for the main character in that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she looks just like her. She
The
had to
Queen.
She has the same, like, you know, when there's young face. Yeah.
I didn't watch all of it. I only watched like the first few. Once they changed to the second Queen, because they get a new actress every couple of years. Once I went to Olivia Colman, I stopped watching because it got to stuff that I already really knew, and it was like I was spoiling myself. Okay, so they talk.
And ensure confidence to commit her to the mercy of God, our Maker. With gratitude, we remember her unswerving commitment to a high calling over so many years as Queen and head of the Commons. With admiration, we recall her lifelong sense of duty and dedication to her. With thanksgiving.
So she was pretty young when she took the crown too.
Yeah, she was in
like,
her early
25 or
20s.
26.
Yeah.
And
25 or 26, I'm not sure.
I
They
think
media reports usually say 26, but I'm not sure if that's when the coronation happened or when when her father died. Because I've heard some say 25, some say 26. So that
Yeah,
might
because
be
it was like a year before she had her coronation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think I did see somewhere where I had it all prepared before. I don't know where it went. But
Okay, it said 26.
oh, this is the 2 minute of silence? No, not yet.
No, that's not until after the.
Afterwards.
Who is
Yeah.
the resurrection and the life, in whom whosoever believeth shall live, though he die. And whosoever liveth and believeth
70 years.
shall
Wow.
not die
Yeah.
She reigned for a long time.
by his holy
Yeah, I honestly don't think there'll probably be another monarch that will reign as long.
Definitely not in our lifetime.
No.
Yeah.
beseech thee, O Father.
Because I had
Because even
some,
if like Charles was to like abdicate today, actually, I don't know if
Well, yeah,
he'd
because
abdicate, would it actually.
William would be in his 40s now.
But actually, I read
Early
something. I don't know
40s.
if it's true, but it sounds true. That if you abdicate, your entire line gets removed.
Yeah.
So if he abdicated, that means it doesn't go to William. It would go to Andrew
Oh, really?
because your entire line.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone-
because Elizabeth's father was actually the second born. So
Yes.
his eldest brother
But-
had to abdicate because he wanted to marry someone who was a divorcee.
Yeah.
And he couldn't marry her and be king.
Yeah. The British government wouldn't give them permission.
Yeah.
Okay. Ishade's saying no. So she's saying it would go to William. It's assumed it would, but in the past, if someone abdicates, even their children don't get it. So
That's really
why
weird.
would it be different now, other than the fact that the public would expect it? Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he had no kids.
yeah, but not necessarily him. But if you go back further generations, if someone was like removed from the line, their kids were too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense that, yeah, because the oldest brother didn't have any children.
I'm really not I don't know if this is like all like Church of England churches or just old-fashioned churches, where you sit facing like the middle. Okay, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
because
in all
they're
ours,
used to...
the pews face the front. Okay,
Mm.
and you have an aisle down the middle. But I
Yeah,
guess
the
they could probably fit
architecture
more
is
people.
so grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
wonder
think
if that's like-
I think the only place that I've seen that's as grand is what's the place that will never be finished in Spain. I can't remember what it's called now.
Oh, I haven't been there. Never been to Spain.
I don't know much about Spain either, but you're talking about a structure?
Sagrada Familia.
Okay.
So they just keep like adding on and on. Like when you go in there, it's really grand like that.
Yeah.
It's the
Sounds
only
like,
other thing that I can kind of compare it to.
A little bit like Notre Dame before the fire, at least. In Paris. And maybe like I'm forgetting the full name. It's something Sophia in Istanbul. Okay, where it was like it was like a Catholic church, then a mosque, then a Catholic church again, then a mosque again, then a Catholic church again, and now it's a mosque again. Okay, but it's not really used for religious services anymore. It's people would go in to see the architecture and the history. Or maybe the Vatican, like St. Paul's Cathedral.
Oh yeah, actually, I think I've been to the Vatican.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Like it doesn't like the Vatican doesn't stick out in my head as much as what was it called again? Yeah,
The one in
Sagrada
Spain.
Familia. Yeah. Like that church is absolutely insane.
So I've got to add it to my list.
Yes. You can actually, so if you sort of like organize beforehand, you can buy tickets to go up into the spiral. So because it's so like the plans for this thing was that it was meant to have sort of like 4 sort of like spires, and then there's another section on top of that that's meant to go up. And you can, so they've built so much of it that you can go up into those spires, but it's meant to be like double the height of it again. It's quite insane.
Yes. I don't know. I wonder if you can. I don't think you can do any of that at Westminster Abbey. Like I remember you could go inside. We didn't. We just.
Yeah, I don't
photo at the
remember
front
going in. We just kind of like walked around. So we kind of
Yeah.
like went in like in front of like Buckingham Palace and stuff like that, and kind of walked around the general area, and that was probably about it. And we actually saw the change of guard. So like down the road and around, we actually saw where they actually start to do like the walkout from like where the guards are.
Yeah.
Which was quite fascinating. It was actually pretty cool to see.
I cheated. Okay, this is a cheat, but I technically went into Buckingham Palace. I went into the gift shop, which is in the basement. Okay. I was with my sister, okay, because she was living in London at the time, and
afterward,
I'm like,
they
oh look, a gift shop in the building. Okay, and she's like, are you gonna buy anything? I'm like, no, but let's go inside so we can say we've been inside Buckingham Palace.
when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God, even the Father.
And yeah, Ish, I agree. I think that Charles has been waiting too long for the crown to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy
She's the Secretary of the Commonwealth, right? We saw it.
is
We saw
death.
that?
Yeah.
For this corruptible must
I don't know why, but my back is super itchy. Sorry. I just keep reaching over. I need to get like a.
must put on immortality.
I'm actually quite lucky where I set up. I'm like on my couch.
Yeah. I was going to do that, but then my computer would be too low.
Yeah, I've actually
Yeah.
I've got my laptop sitting on a box.
Well, so do
So
I.
it's on
It's still
it's
on a
the-
table.
It's on the so it's on like a little side table on top of a box.
Okay. So mine's on a table and then on a box.
I agree
And
with
I-
Toybox Brain. The architecture, excuse me, of the place is so grand. I just
Yeah.
wanted to mention that quickly because that's a very good point.
Where
Excuse me for that.
O grave, where is
I have my
thy
laptop on a box too.
I think it's a thing. You just got to get that little bit of height.
My keyboard's sitting on a homemade desk.
thanks to God?
It'd be so funny to see like all these like behind the scenes of like how everybody has like their setup. because mine just looks like you see this, but it's just like what's there is just like weird.
I want to be able to have a virtual background sometime soon, but
Always abounding in the work.
Yeah, because like Magcore looks mad, like because he does like his background.
Oh, those are so funny.
I
love
love
when
it.
he does that.
Yeah.
He cracks me up so much every time. Every time.
It looks so cool. I swear, I feel like he's like the master of like the backgrounds and like everything.
Some of them will work without a green screen if you've just got a plain wall behind you.
A setting of
Like-
versus one.
My only problem is like my skin color is very close to the color of the paint on the wall behind me. So yeah, I kind of blend sometimes.
So, Mr. Malloy, I believe they did say that the steps of the service today that Charles is supposed to
No, abdicate
something.
means
is it
abdicate
I'll
means
give it up.
give up the throne.
give up the throne. No.
Like as in say I quit.
Oh, there's my French coming in again.
It's okay. But he might give it like a eulogy. Okay. A eulogy.
Eulogy is the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. I can't speak anything other than English, so
Yeah,
I'm,
neither can
I'm
I.
just impressed that if anyone who can speak more than one language. Okay.
Well, we're all here to help each other.
Like I learned Italian, but then I forgot it because I stopped using it.
My French and English get mixed so fast and so easy.
Me too. That's constantly. Constantly. Yeah, there. My Mr. Malloy just explained it for me. Thank you.
No, he won't. I don't think he needs to either. This is definitely
No,
special
but-
for the Queen. I think
Yeah.
this is quite standard for like if there was video, which there isn't, of like her father's funeral, it would be very similar.
Yeah, well, I think this has been planned out since the 90s. I think
Yeah.
I saw, so I think I saw like an advisor or something like that. He was on one of the networks, and he said that he was part of the planning of the funeral from the 90s, and I think it got updated again in the 2000s and stuff like that. So
Well, they would have had to continuously update it for like security reasons and stuff.
yeah,
But yeah, it would be similar though. Okay. And I don't think they're always held at Westminster. Okay, I know Diana's was, but I thought that they were held at like St Paul's or something in the past,
So,
which is in the
Gonna-
centre of London. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, like, for Charles giving up the crown and everything. I don't know. Princess Anne. I've kind of fallen in love with her. She's so.
Yes.
I know. Did some
She's like
research
my
about her.
favorite.
Yeah,
Okay.
she would make an excellent queen. Her,
Mhm.
in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I can't say that.
She's like.
I can't say that King Charles won't do a good job. I don't
I
know.
saw something the other day about that, like about would she make a good queen? The consensus is she'd be pretty good, but
Yeah.
because she hasn't been the heir, she's had the freedom to kind of do things differently, like say piss off to the press and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen some of that. Yeah.
Okay,
But she still has poise and
yes.
she.
But she
has
would have-
confidence.
the stuff that makes us like her, she probably wouldn't have been able to do if she was heir.
probably not.
That's a good point. Yeah.
This is the brand new Prime Minister of England, of the UK.
Of the UK.
Yeah,
Liz
it's so
Truss.
sad. Like literally, she went in to visit the Queen to, be inducted into being Prime Minister, and I think like a couple of days later, the Queen passed away.
Yeah. I think John Oliver made a joke about how the Queen died so she wouldn't have to live through this Prime Ministership. Because apparently the Queen didn't get along that well with Margaret Thatcher,
Oh,
okay, who was the Prime Minister of the UK in the 80s. And apparently Liz Truss is like Margaret Thatcher on steroids.
If you
Oh
had
no.
you should have known my
So that's what the joke was. Okay, but I don't know how true it is. I don't know Liz Truss's politics at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know what party she's from, but that's about it.
Show us the
I haven't looked into it enough.
Mm.
Politics isn't really my specialty.
Have I been so
Crystal,
long?
I sent you a link in the private chat for if you want, because I love the family tree that you have, and that's interactive, and I think that'd be cool if we could look at that after. But if we just want to see from Queen Elizabeth, and
Tim was sung
they just
at
show
Queen's
quite
wedding in
quickly.
named after the Aberdeenshire town of Cribber.
Oh,
And then when King Charles, if he comes up to talk about
Makes me
or give the what's the word, eulogy,
yeah.
then I'd like to hear that. If it... So
Okay, so we've got Queen and Philip.
mhm,
Okay,
yeah.
Charles. Yes, then William, then his son George.
So we are, yeah, you're looking down towards, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
But
so,
then the next, like, just say there was some terrible accident that took out all of Charles's line.
mhm,
The next person is actually Andrew. Even though he's not the second oldest. It wasn't until 2015
mhm,
that females were put, so it wasn't in, now it goes by oldest to youngest. But before
Yeah, because Charlotte's
2015,
actually,
yeah,
before.
before 2015, anyone born before that goes in the old order, which is oldest son to youngest son, then the daughters. Okay.
so they say he will be known as King Charles III, first Charles to sit on the throne since 1685.
Oh, wow.
Apparently Charles
'cause
don't have good history. Okay.
We won't jinx him.
And Camilla is Queen Consort, although they did say when they got married that she wouldn't take that title. But apparently last year the Queen said that she would.
Yeah, because it was like a second marriage or something like that. So they
But I wonder,
wasn't really meant to be.
though, okay, if we just start calling her, like, if the Queen's mother was also Queen Elizabeth. She wasn't Queen Elizabeth I, but she was Queen Elizabeth. Okay, because she was married to the king. So she was the queen. And her name was Elizabeth. Yeah, obviously she stopped being queen when her husband died. But technically she was Queen Consort, but they just called her the Queen. And the same with Queen Elizabeth's grandmother, Queen Mary. She was a Queen Consort, but they just called her Queen Mary. Okay. So I wonder if eventually we just stop saying consort. And
Maybe.
it's just Queen
It's
Camilla.
just easier just to say queen.
Yeah. But
So
if
most
we're
people
going to
say-
stick with the consort because the whole Diana thing.
Yeah, because I
Okay,
think there's
'cause-
still a lot of people with a lot of respect for Diana. So, like, I think for some people it might be a little bit.
Yeah. But then when Catherine becomes queen, I bet you we don't call her Queen Consort, and she will be. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Do you know there's like 3 types of queens? So we've just covered what a Queen Consort is. That's the person married to like the king. Then you've got the Queen Regent and the Queen Regnant. Oh, okay,
Wow.
sorry, something's happening with my screen. So a Queen Regent is not what Elizabeth was. A Queen Regent is like the mother of the king who is a minor, or the queen who is a minor.
Oh, so she sort of looks after the son
Business.
and is sort of and is
Yeah.
in charge until the son is of age to take over.
Yes. And a Queen Regnant is what this queen was. Okay. And that's the queen who is the person in charge. Like, they're the person who inherited the title.
Famously declared
And most
on
people
the
apparently get that
21st
wrong,
birthday
and
brought
I probably did too.
that her whole
Okay.
life would be
Okay,
dedicated
but I read that the other
to
day, and I'm like,
serving
oh, I didn't know
the
that.
Commonwealth.
Interesting.
Rarely.
So you're not a news station anymore, Ash. She dropped the first part of her name.
Hey, Miami
Yeah.
Spice.
KBC.
I'm no longer here to deprogram you guys.
How to follow, but who to follow.
Oceanator's good though. I like it.
Yeah,
Said I.
So was
it's
the
a little
other
bit
one, but-
shorter and sweeter.
It's going to be easier to type out.
Yes.
I'll keep the KBC as in my avatar, but
Position or her ambition. But
And you know, like in a few years, people are going to go, "What's KBC is?" And then you're going to have to say,
there's the same faith in open
only the originals will know.
attitude
Yeah.
"Yeah."
It'll be
You
the
wanna-
inner joke. Or like, just like the inner secret.
Exactly.
In 1953, the Queen began
Oh, who's
her
talking now?
with typed prayer
Wanna see, wanna see.
just there at the high altar. Her allegiance to God,
If I'm a little quiet, it's because I'm concentrating and pulling up comments.
to her,
That's okay. Oh, good morning, Miami Spice. I know that was a few minutes ago.
in this
okay.
Good morning. And good morning, Jean.
Commonwealth and the world
Yes.
had its foundation in her following Christ, God Himself.
Did they say how long the funeral was going to go for?
That
55 minutes.
came not
Oh,
to be
That's not
served,
too bad.
but to serve. And to
And then
give
it's followed by 2 minutes
as
of
a
silence
for many
and a bugle playing the last post,
of
which
loving service.
I'm pretty sure we would all be familiar with, at least here. Okay, and in
Of loving
I was
service.
talking to Robin the other day. They have it in Canada as well. That we have a like returned veterans club. We call it the RSL.
Those
Yeah.
who
Okay, and they
serve
call it the
will be loved
Legion
and
Club or something like
remembered
that.
I was going to be
Okay.
so Aussie then and be like the Ari.
yeah. But if you ever have dinner there, okay, at 7 o'clock every night they play the last post,
when not only
and you have to stand up and you got to put down your knife and fork, and
Oh.
they play the bugle over the thing, and you got to stand there in silence while they play.
But we have that for Canada too, at certain times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
certainly touching a multitude of
So we have the Royal Canadian Legion where we
Yeah,
are.
that was it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all her family.
Okay.
Grieving
Um,
as every,
do you feel bad for the corgis she left behind? They're going to be sad about her.
including
True,
so
but she
many
stopped getting new
families around the
corgis like
world who have
15 years ago or
themselves
something,
lost someone rich
because she knew she didn't want them to outlive her.
family,
Okay, so
doing so in the
yeah,
I wonder who's looking after them now.
I'm sure they're taken care of.
heal their sorrow.
Okay,
May the gap left in
So
their
very sad.
I'm pretty sure they had their own footman anyway.
Oh, my
Okay.
husband said that Prince Andrew got the corgis.
That was there was a meme. Okay, and if
Okay,
I'm
what's the
willing to
corgis?
say it, I'm willing to say it. Okay, but some people might be offended. So if you have sensitive ears, block them for 30 seconds. Okay, so Andrew inherited the corgis because he's got experience with grooming.
Oh.
That's a joke. I don't think
That
he
was
actually inherited the.
Oh dear.
That was a joke.
So I don't know if he actually got. I don't think he actually got the corgis.
Okay, no. Yeah, 'cause
I
my
would
husband-
think that they would.
Prince Andrew got the mic-
I would think they would stay in Buckingham Palace because it's really not good to move dogs around too much.
The Queen's
So if they,
Well, especially
they
if
used
she
to,
hasn't, if she hasn't gotten any new corgis in 15 years, they would be
service
of old age by now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, the expert.
who follows the Queen's example
Hello.
of trust and faith in God.
So yeah, I would expect they're probably just going to stay there,
We will
and they're now Charles and
meet again.
Camilla's corgis.
Where did he go? I gotta find
Well,
him.
was
There
it?
he is.
Well, Charles and Camilla would be moving into Buckingham Palace, or were they already
Yes.
there?
No, they moved there. They were at Clarence's house before.
Like so, there was a Bob
And I'm not sure where Clarence's house is, but that's where they were.
in Central School.
Expert can't hide when you come to us. Yeah.
I really
Look
do
at
like
those
the windows.
paint glass.
It's
Yes.
so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
I thought they were gonna zoom in so we could see what the pictures were, but I could look
Just
that
the
up after.
detail, like the architecture, is just so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like sometimes it pisses me off. Like when I went into St. Peter's in Vatican City, okay, that it just pissed me off. Okay, so you walk in and you're surrounded by like all this gold. Okay, like literally like the ceiling is painted in gold. Okay, and then they have an old wooden box and it says donations, please. I'm like, just peel off some of that gold, man.
Yeah.
It's gotta be grand.
Does it really?
Yes. It's that all of these old timey churches, everything is gold. I think it's just because, like, I married into Greek Orthodox, so everything is gold. Everything is ornate. It's just
They could change it out for brass and we wouldn't know the difference.
Just pink.
What did I say earlier? It's like how many people in the choir? I read that out before, didn't I? Yeah, let me see.
I wonder how the kids get picked for the choir. Do they have to be like super good? Or are they actually people that go to that church every week? I doubt it. There can't be that many Londoners that go to church every week.
I don't know. Usually when well, in my area, they when they choose their choir members, it's from family from the congregation. So
Hmm.
Yeah, that's same here.
I'm just looking to see.
Well, so do we, but you'd think that like the big churches, they probably pull the best from everywhere else. I don't know.
I think pretty much the main prerequisite is to, you know, believe in God and sing your heart out and have a good voice to sing. Beautiful
Yeah.
voices. Not sure where. I'm just looking for it now. I mean, no matter what age we are, we lose our mother. That's just, you know, so sad.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Even though you know the time is coming, it's just not. You know,
No, exactly. It's
losing a parent.
I can't imagine.
We don't want to either.
Let us pray. Let us give thanks to God for Queen Elizabeth's long life and reign, recalling with gratitude her gifts of wisdom, diligence, and service. O God, from whom cometh everything that is upright and true, accept our thanks for the gifts of
So back in 2015, when they changed that law to allow the girls to inherit the title, they also changed something else, well, a couple of things. One of them was now you're not automatically removed from the line of succession if you marry a Catholic. Okay, so it used to be like not converting yourself. Okay, if you convert yourself, you're definitely out. Okay, but it was even if you married a Catholic, okay, that you were out. Now, what's interesting is Camilla. Okay, her kids are Catholic. Okay, I don't think she is. Okay, but I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because her ex-husband was
Let us pray
Catholic.
for all those
Yeah.
whose hearts are
Oh well, her kids aren't going to inherit anything, so
Mm. No, but
Almighty God.
if she was Catholic, that would
Mm.
mean Charles can't be king if they hadn't changed that law. Yeah,
Feel gracious
I don't know. I don't really know her religion. Okay.
with those who know.
Most of what I know about her is from The Crown
Every on
and like gossip.
I haven't
Okay.
watched that far into it yet.
Okay. This might be completely not true, but it might be true. I don't know. So, when Charles and Camilla were dating in like the late 60s, early 70s, whatever, okay, Princess Anne was dating Andrew Parker Bowles.
Oh,
Okay, and so Granny didn't approve. That was the Queen Mother. Did not approve at all of either relationship. Okay, and she arranged for Camilla and Andrew to get married. To two birds, one stone.
oh,
Okay, so she went to like their parents, like Camilla's parents and Andrew's parents, and said, you know, oh, you know that your son would make should really meet Camilla because that would be perfect together. And they went to Camilla's parents. Oh, you know that your daughter should really meet Andrew. He's be perfect for your daughter. Okay. And of course, because they're like, she was the queen, not
mm.
this queen, but she was the queen once. You know, that had a lot of power. And then like they got married.
Rejoice in her unstinting devotion to duty, her compassion for her subjects, and her counsel to her ministers. And we pray
Moderator of the Free Churches Group, Reverend Canon Helen Cameron.
of his name. Almighty God, whose will it is that all thy children should serve thee in serving one another, look with love, we pray thee, on this nation. Grant to its citizens grace to work together with honest and faithful hearts, each caring for the good of all, that seeking first thy kingdom and its righteousness, they may possess all things
That
needed
guy asleep.
for their daily sustenance.
I
The
don't
second
think
one
so.
closest to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks.
It looks he's just deep in thought.
I wonder what time they had to get there
Let us give
to get in.
for Queen Elizabeth's
Must have been a really
Because they
long
all had to
lineup.
get in. They had no. They weren't allowed to go to the church themselves. They had to go somewhere else and get a bus. Like everyone except for Joe Biden had to get on a bus.
Oh wow.
Why is he so special?
Almighty and everlasting.
Because US presidents get assassinated a lot more often than most other Western leaders.
Fair enough.
Laughed.
Kind of true though.
That they may promote justice and the common good. Give to all its citizens the spirit of mutual honor and respect. And grant
But that brings up an interesting thing.
grace to strive
So
for
apparently
the
there was re-attempts on the Queen's life.
Oh wow.
honor
Okay, well, 3 that we know about. Okay, one was in Australia, one was in New Zealand,
Thanks to God
and
for
where was the
Queen
other one?
Elizabeth's loyalty to the faith she inherited through her baptism and confirmation.
In London. Okay, so the first one was in London in 1981.
For her
And it wasn't a real attempt,
unswerving
okay?
devotion
It was Trooping of the Colour, so that's where they had like the big parades, and she was riding a horse, and a guy fired off a bunch of shots, but they were blanks. So I don't know, that's not a real
we
attempt.
beseech thee
Okay.
to keep
Then you
thy
have-
soul, the church,
Oh, sorry, in Australia in 1970 in Sydney.
that
She was on a train from Sydney to Orange, which is about
free from all adversities
5 hours west of Sydney. Okay. And someone put a log in front of the train wanting it to derail.
Oh,
to
wow.
everyone. But the train was going too slow.
Oh,
So they were able to stop.
yeah.
For, okay. And the last one was in Dunedin in New Zealand in 1981. Oh, I don't know the details of that one.
Is that the one where, like, she was driving and something had happened? I think so.
I really don't know. Okay, all I know is Dunedin, New Zealand, 1981. But then you also have that that event in 1982 where the guy broke into Buckingham Palace and got into her bedroom and woke her
Oh,
up. Okay, but
you know a lot.
I
What
mean,
happened there?
YouTube rabbit hole. Okay, so this guy broke in, and there's 2 different versions of events. There's what was in the reports at the time, and what is in the Crown. Okay, whereas he broke in, and he sat on the end of her bed, and she woke up, and then they spoke for like 10 minutes until she distracted him by saying, "I'll get you a cigarette," and got him. And when she went to get the cigarette, she alerted the staff outside of her bedroom. Okay, that's what was in all the reports at the time, and that's what's linked. He says that he was only in there for like a minute before security like got him.
At the most sacred moment.
Okay, so I don't know.
While I sang. Oh, it's-
But like, if you ever hear Princess Anne talk about when that guy tried to kidnap her in the 70s, okay, someone tried to kidnap her in, I think it was 74, and shot like 3 cops and her chauffeur and everything.
That's okay. So that's yeah. I did see that the other day when I was watching a documentary on her. She was sitting in the car and he came up to the car and he tried to get her out and she refused and she said,
Yeah.
"Nope, I'm not doing what you tell me to do." Took a real chance there.
Yeah,
She's
headstrong.
strong
Okay.
lady. Yep, strong lady.
Okay. But when she talks about that, like in interviews, she'll say, "I just remember snapshots. I don't remember how long each thing went for." And that's kind of true of any like really adrenaline pumping event. You can't judge time. Okay, and you miss details. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm like staring at this and I'm like, wow, look at those chairs too and everything.
It's just so beautiful.
All of the way it's all done.
Let us pray to the Father in the words of
Imagine if it's all gold color or bronze color, but imagine if it was all made out of gold.
I bet a lot of it is.
Maybe they have gold plated stuff, yeah, but for decoration.
You said something, it's like a full service for Catholics because they broke away from the church. This reminds me a lot of like a Catholic funeral, except there's not all this
divine
getting up
presence
and getting down
as it
bits,
says,
right?
the archangel will lead
Okay.
That's like
If you ever go to a
yeah,
Catholic funeral, you're just up and down the whole time.
Yeah.
God. As the procession reforms.
Just do you know, Crystal, if that's true or not? Do you see that? Ishkade wrote?
Ab
Oh.
was so mad that she couldn't marry who she wanted. Ab, who's Ab?
I think Anne.
Anne?
Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
probably. Okay.
But that was that proven? That was the scandal, but was it proven or like,
I'm not sure.
yeah.
Okay. She seemed pretty into Mark Phillips when she married him, at least. Okay. and I think she was her current husband. I'm forgetting his name, but they were having an affair for years, like 7 or 8 years at least, before they got married. I think the only reason like Anne's divorce was allowed to go through is because her husband had a kid with someone else. And once that was found out, that was like, okay, you can get divorced. And I think she was the first one to get divorced. Too.
Oh wow.
So they
She's
all
the
got
only-
like
she's
divorced
the
in the
only
same
one.
year.
Wasn't she the
No.
only one that was granted a divorce, though?
No, she got
Other
divorced
than,
in
yeah.
early '92. Okay, and then Andrew and Fergie broke up in '92 as well, and so did Diana and Charles. But they didn't. Diana and Charles didn't get divorced until '95.
Wow.
96.
A lot of breakups.
Yeah, it was like that was what did she call it? Her Annus Horribilis, 1992. She gave like a speech at the end of the year saying, like, "This is the worst year ever. This is a queen," because Windsor Castle also burnt down that year as well. There was that big fire at Windsor Castle. Yeah, Princess Margaret, I'm pretty sure she wasn't allowed to marry who she wanted to marry. Okay, I remember that. That's like the whole first season of The Crown. Okay.
I haven't gotten through that yet. I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
I'm on.
Melissa's the only one that started.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many episodes are there so far with that? I think it's been on for a couple of years now, right?
There's like 12 a season, I think.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 seasons, or is it 3 or 4
No,
seasons?
it's more like 4 or 5 now.
'Cause I know when I looked on Netflix, I think there was only 3 seasons on there.
Okay.
Gosh, that's so beautiful.
Oh,
That's like
are they getting rid? Okay.
when
they're
they had that fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. I think they lost all the stained glass windows. I'm like, oh, it's so sad.
Aw.
They just melted. Okay. There mustn't be a eulogy by Charles because there's only 5 minutes left.
I thought I saw him in the list, though. You remember when I read it out at the beginning? I thought for sure they said they.
Unless he closes it.
It might be that he closes it.
I'm gonna go look again, because
Lord and giver of life. Who of thy grace in creation did
After the funeral's over, okay, I've taken, I went and looked at all their social media and then got a copy of all their statements and stuff that they've written down, like their
right.
thoughts. Well, not everyone, it's just Charles, Anne, Edward, William, and Eugenie and Beatrice. They're the only ones who put something out. Oh, and Kate's brother. And like Princess Margaret's daughter as well.
And now liveth and reigneth with thee and the Holy Spirit in glory forever. Amen.
Okay, well maybe I. So the musicians, there's 200 musicians, but it's not the choir. I thought it was the, they had numbered the how many people are singing, but no, it's the musicians. So 200 musicians playing today.
Who suffered for thee.
And
In the name of the Holy Spirit, who was poured out upon thee and anointed thee,
no,
in communion with all the blessed saints, and
I guess
aided
it doesn't
by
say if the king's going to say a few words.
all the armies of the heavenly host. May thy portion this day be in peace, and thy dwelling in the heavenly Jerusalem. Amen.
So, Crystal, if I wanted to just share a couple things on the side, I don't want to do that because then it'll cut your stream, right? Because we're doing the stream. Yeah, we'd have to do one at a time, so I'll wait till after.
The only way I'm able to keep the funeral playing and put the other thing is I'm sharing an entire screen.
Right.
I've got a second monitor. And I'm sharing that entire monitor, everything that appears on that monitor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But the application doesn't allow you to share two things at once that we're using, which kind of sucks. That's what I was trying to test out the other day.
Well, it's better this way because, like you said, if you had double monitors, I'm keeping an eye on other things. So.
I actually bought the second one today.
Did you?
Yeah.
I
needed one.
Yeah, I need one too. I was focusing
I've just been
on
using
other
my
things
laptop.
first.
Mm-hmm.
I went and got my equipment first, so next step is to have a better setup for the monitor.
How many of those kids do you reckon get kicked out of the choir? Especially the boys. Well, they're all boys, aren't they? How many of those boys do you reckon get kicked out once they become a teenager? Who's like their voice cracks. Like
Do you
when
think
their
that
voice
they
breaks?
do, or do they just take a break and wait and then go back? Because sometimes they,
I don't know.
do they- That's a good question.
Can they necessarily still sing? I'm looking at that group of people and I don't recognize anyone in it.
So for the holiday, people had questions about whether or not Canada had the day off for the funeral, and live coverage will start in the Canadian networks. Has been going on since we started.
Yeah.
And I think each province has had a different vote in order to know if they would have the day off or not. So.
Yeah, because we have our public holiday on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I find a very interesting day.
Yeah, and for Ontario residents are being encouraged to observe a moment of silence at 1 p.m.
Okay, so they don't have the day off, but they're doing the moment of silence for the Queen.
I know why we got Thursday. Because Friday's already a public holiday in Victoria, so they couldn't double up.
Yeah.
So they made it. Victoria's one of our states, so they made it Thursday. So the people in Victoria get a 4-day weekend.
Oh, that's not fair.
But guess what the holiday on Friday is for?
Oh, is it the day before the grand final?
Yes, they get a public holiday the day before
the
football grand final.
For the football. And they get Melbourne Cup off.
Yes, half a day for Melbourne Cup. Okay. Only from midday.
I thought it was the whole day.
No, it might be.
Because when I lived down there, it was the whole day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for us in Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador, they've declared Monday a one-off provincial holiday in honor of Queen Elizabeth II. That means that the government offices and schools will close, and other businesses and organizations will not be required to close or treat the day as a paid holiday. Nova Scotia is September 19th. They consider it to be a holiday. New Brunswick, temporary provincial holiday to mark the Queen's funeral. Schools and offices of the government will be closed. So Prince Edward Island. So Quebec is probably the only one that said nope.
Well, Ontario too.
Oh, Ontario too, right? Yeah, Quebec. Yeah. He made some public comments on that as well. He said he didn't think that it was necessary to make parents miss work and children miss school. So
I think it was the same for Doug Ford. He was, yeah.
Alberta.
Okay,
Alberta.
Charles' sister is Anne, and she's the Margaret is the Queen's sister, and she died. So they all kind of look very similar. So if you see a 70-year-old woman who looks like the Queen, that's
I think
Anne.
she's the one down in the bottom corner with the white hat on.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. I can't see from here. Oh, she's facing the wrong way. That's why. But probably she'll be in. She'll have a blue sash, in a military type uniform. The blue sash represents that they're working royals.
Yeah, because I think I read something somewhere that Charles and Anne were the hardest working royals.
Usually Anne has the most engagements in the year, but last year Charles overtook her. He had only a couple more. 500 events a year. It was over 500 in 1 year.
So Cake or Death says in UK, well, it's a bank holiday. It's not mandatory. So up to employers whether or not they work, etc. A lot of places reopening at 5 p.m. this afternoon. Ah, that's interesting.
We'll still have a lot of places open on our public holiday. Except if you work in an office environment, you won't have to go in. Okay, but if you work in retail or something, or in hospitality, you will. But you get paid more.
Right.
Or if you work somewhere like McDonald's or something, the people that normally work on the daytime will have the day off. They'll use the high school kids to come in and work on the day.
I always think about these men that are in their uniforms because yesterday I was watching where people were coming up and just saying their prayer or showing respect, and I don't know how many hours those men stood there, but that must be a long, quite the day for them. I know they're used to it, but
is he crying?
I think he was tearing up earlier too. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like he is.
I mean, it's his mom,
Yeah.
How people can keep their composure over stuff. I'd be a blubbering person.
I'm just wondering. Sorry, they're singing the God Save the Queen or King. Are they singing Queen or King right now?
I'm not sure.
I didn't quite hear what you said, Crystal.
I can't tell. Okay, so the national anthem is God Save the Queen or God Save the King, depending on if it's King or Queen. They're singing it right now. Are they singing King or Queen? Because it's her funeral, but it's king now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
God.
Here we go.
Maybe they would be saying it for her today because it's her last goodbye, maybe.
It's Queen. There we go.
That's what it makes sense though,
Yeah.
Plays the lament. Sleep, dearie, sleep.
Dearie. Is that a common term? In
Sleep,
England?
dearie.
Yeah. No, dearie.
dearie,
It's like a common way to show.
I wouldn't say it's common, but I've heard it.
I've been looking up different things, so I didn't get to see Harry, but Ishkade was wondering if he was singing.
Oh, I
He wasn't singing. I don't know. I didn't
I don't
see.
think it's a big deal if someone is singing or not. They might be not singing because,
Choked up a bit, maybe.
yeah,
It could be that too.
or they might just have a terrible voice and they don't want to put it on.
No, but most people, if they don't want to sing, they mouth.
Yeah.
In church. Wow, look at that. They are lined up perfectly. Everybody's. That's one thing I've noticed about England when they do their ceremonies. It's always immaculately. Everybody's in their place. Everybody's stanced the same way. There's not.
You know what helps?
There's
Having
patterns
tiles like that.
Yeah.
Because you can draw a line, kind of thing. There's Anne there. She's next to Camilla.
There
Oh
for the white
yeah. Yeah, they all have their uniforms on for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they all like is it
They were all in the
customary for
military.
all the royals to be in the military?
I don't know. That's a
Yeah,
good
they have
question.
military honours.
Mm.
Okay, they might not have served though. From memory, and I could be wrong, but
Charles,
from memory,
Charles
the only
did and
two
Anne did, yeah.
that have actually served actively in the military are Andrew and Harry.
Well,
Okay, so Harry was in Afghanistan, and Andrew was in the Falklands.
Anne served as well, didn't she? She was in.
I don't think so. Not in like an active role.
She didn't. I thought that.
No.
I might have misunderstood that when I read it then, because I thought she was.
The Queen did. Okay.
Oh, the Queen is the one that was driving the tank.
No.
No,
okay,
Anne
so-
did that.
The ambulance.
Anne, Queen
Yeah,
was
because
driving the
I-
ambulance. Anne was. She had driven the tank and actually did active firearms.
Oh.
But
she
I don't
wasn't
know if it
actually
was
in the military.
Yeah,
like,
that's. I don't know if
She-
she's.
She was like on a it would be an honorary title, and she went out and visited what she is the honorary commander of or whatever, and learned a few things. Because that shocked the world when she actually went in and started driving the tank, and
Oh wait.
when she fired like the cannon or something, she got a bullseye, and they're like,
Oh, wow.
"Holy crap!"
I remember that too. Watching that in a documentary. So Michael Malloy. It's sung as "My Country, 'Tis Thee." Oh my! Somebody else want to read that? I'm not going to pronounce it properly.
It's sung as "My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, land of where the English pilgrims ride, from every mountain side let freedom ring."
Wow. It's impressive that you know that, Mr. Malloy. So Ishkade says he did the same thing as the Queen. She worked on the medical part, yeah. So we do, later we'll have
So,
pictures
why did
too
those
of her in the
people
war.
just leave?
Not in the war, but in the military. What's that?
Why did those people just leave? Like a whole bunch of them.
Let me look at the schedule.
They're a party of the Queen's Company. 1st Battalion Grenadier Guards once more come forward to pick up their company commander and carry her aloft from this state funeral, here in the very place where she was crowned in 1953 and where she married her husband. They will convey her out of this great abbey to the waiting state gun carriage and to the Royal Navy, who will carry her from her capital city And as they carry her, the eyes of a nation, of the realms, and of the Commonwealth she dedicated herself to serve here, will walk with them.
Oh. He said that was the USA version that he was mentioning. So I looked at the schedule for the funeral. Crystal, and it doesn't say if anyone was leaving for any purpose, so they probably were making room for them to actually sortir.
For them to exit.
Exit, thank you. Pour sortir. Just an example of the franglais. In my
Le
brain
vrai
all the time.
English.
I don't know why I thought King Charles was going to speak. I thought I read that somewhere. I must have misinterpreted something.
You might be speaking at the other service later. So there's another service in 3 or 4 hours at Windsor. I think it's at Windsor. Maybe speaking at that one.
That would make sense, yeah.
Or in the private family one after that.
Do we know what does he represent standing with just him alone? Do you know? I didn't read that anywhere.
No idea. A lot of this is ceremonial. It would have been something that's been around for hundreds of years. So I'm sure it's something important. Maybe it's like someone who reports to the Queen, or like the head of security or something.
Okay. Head of the Royal Military, or?
Well, the medals have to mean something.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get over how beautiful that church is.
You can go inside if you go to London.
I'd be interested to know how tall the inside substructure is, like how high the ceiling is.
Sure, I can look that up.
Oops. I was afraid we just got shut down.
No, that's me. Every time I
Okay.
open a new window, it flickers. Sorry.
Oh, that's because of the monitor, probably. You have HDMI cord attached to it?
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah. That used to happen to me too.
See? Sorry, people.
Good morning, Texas Jen. You have a link, my dear. It's in the group chat for the preparation if you want to come up and join us.
Okay, the tower
pressure.
height is 225 feet or 69 meters.
Oh, wow. That's tall.
And
I really like that color purple.
I do too.
It's a good color.
So, from Mr. Malloy, we do have a little bit of information about the Crown's history, but we're just waiting for the funeral procession to go through the process, and we have other things that we're probably going to chat about.
surprised though that it's actually running late. Like they're usually like to the minute.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like they started on time.
That's what I mean for everything that any ceremony that I've seen that involves England, it's always very precise. Everyone's placed. Everyone's all wearing identical uniforms right down to the last detail, and that includes, like you said, the punctuality and.
Who wants to bet that it was a politician's speech is going too long?
So people are asking about the coronation, so I'm going to check to see what's up with that. So that is something that I didn't.
Well, the crown is at Michael. The crown right now is on top of the casket.
Yeah, but they're asking when the coronation would be for King Charles.
Oh, it could be next week, and it could be a year from now. It's up to Charles.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting fact because.
So, Queen Elizabeth, she waited a year.
And she was really young, like you said earlier, when she was when she did the coronation. I saw a picture of her also sitting on the chair. She looked so small compared to that big chair.
Yeah.